Some breaking news in the NBA world as Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Ryan Saunders has been released of his duties. He's been fired, terminated, and gone from the Minnesota Timberwolves after a not so great start of the season so far. He started coaching for the Timberwolves in 2018. Not great, not a great year. He only had 42 games under his belt when he started for the T-Wolves. He went 17-25. Then the next season, last season, 2019-2020 season, once again, not a lot of games played. Finished at 19-45. And this season, he's off to a 7-24 record. Not great at all. But it's tough, man. It's tough for the Timberwolves because think about it. This guy, he was brought in, was trying to basically like a legacy, right? His dad, Flip Saunders, who's a long-time coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he was brought into that organization to basically, even after Tom Thibodeau was fired, to live up to those same expectations as his dad was, right? And it's tough for him to do so when you have such a young team. You're rebuilding year after year, but your players aren't staying on the court. This guy, he had a very talented roster. Some young guys such as Malik Beasley, the number 1 overall pick this past season, Anthony Edwards, you have Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, right? Ed Davis, Naz Reeds, Juancho Hernangomez, just to name a few. And, it's tough. And especially 2 young guys such as D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns, they've only played 5 games together the whole season. So for him, to go out on a losing note, so far through 31 games this season at 7-24, it's tough, man. A lot of the media, and I saw it on Twitter that they were saying how great and guy he was, how respectful he was, and how respected he was throughout the National Basketball Association. But something like this in the NBA, when you're really competing day after day, you need to win games. In their last 10 games, the Timberwolves have gone 2-8. They're 3-13 on the road, 4-11 at home. In the conference, they're 4-14, and the Western Conference is tough. And we'll dive deep into that in just a few. But for someone like that, it's tough. This guy's only 34, 35 years old. Of course, he's gonna land right back on his feet in no time, right? It might take just a little bit to get back into. Obviously he'll probably go to another assistant coaching job, and then later on as he'll move back up the ranks again. But for me, it's pretty shady, man, how quickly. It's not like the Timberwolves, they hired someone on his staff to be an interim head coach. They hired someone outside of the organization, Chris Finch, who is the associate head coach for the Toronto Raptors, mid-season. For me personally, as long as I've been a basketball fan, I've never seen something like this happen before, right? So how is this going to work? Because here's the thing. You had the opportunity to hire Chris Finch in the offseason, so why not do so then? If you knew that Ryan Saunders wasn't your guy, why not do that then? And, you'll have a smooth transition. Now you're just chalking up the season, right? You're bringing a guy from another organization mid-season and expect him to turn around the organization just like that. It's not going to happen. This guy, Chris Finch, he has to bring in. Obviously, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to be able to bring in his own coaching staff, right? Mid-season, that's just not feasibly possible. There's no way that can happen, right? That's more of an off-season kind of thing. So you have Chris Finch coming into an organization, head coach with assistants that may not work under his regime. And you have to insert a new playbook into the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. So that's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen there for the Minnesota Timberwolves. For me, I don't see them. I really do see them seeing like as the last place team in the Western Conference, maybe the worst team in basketball, fighting up there with the Detroit Pistons. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. The Minnesota Timberwolves, you know, they'll keep on fighting their young team. But what's gonna happen with Cat and D'Angelo Russell at the trade deadline? Are they going to be looking to trade those two pieces away to another team to get something in return? You know, really, kick this rebuilding process off, or keep them and hopefully at the end of the season look to land some more bigger targets, or pick up another top 3 first round pick in next year's draft and go from there. You have a stacked draft coming in this next season, and we'll see. If you keep D'Angelo Russell, you have Anthony Edwards, and you have Karl-Anthony Towns, right? You have 3 guys. That's your future if you elect to stay at that point. But then, you can get Cade Cunningham, who's electric. If you land that first pick, that's who I'm going with if you're the T-Wolves, if you get it. But we'll go deeper later down the line, when we officially know the order of the NBA draft, mock drafts, and things like that, which players are opting in and out of their prospective college basketball.